fun fact.
Oh, try that now.
1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
I was going to say, this is bad. Oh, I feel really loud, but...
Do you?
What do I care? Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ascertainers. You're in the right room. This is your friendly digital oasis. Mark does not like that one bit, but if he didn't not like it, he wouldn't have worn that salmon-colored shirt tonight.
Yes.
What color is that shirt, Mark?
Salmon.
Okay.
The house I grew up in was salmon colored.
The outside of the house was salmon
it
colored?
was.
What about the inside of the house?
Just 70s colors, yellow and...
Normal flesh colored?
My basement where I grew up in was burnt orange.
I wonder, what do you think the crayon color... Like, remember you could buy the 8-pack?
Right.
And then I wonder where burnt orange came. I feel like that's probably in the 48 for sure, maybe the 24.
I always thought those guys were the rich people that had the big one.
Oh.
The big one. Phrasing.
David Spade does a great one about the rich kid. He always talked about how his mom got him at like the restaurant, and he got sent to school with a 4-pack from like whatever. It was a Phoenix restaurant. I used to live there, and I recognize the name, but I can't think of it now. But and he goes, yeah, then you got the rich kid with the 64-pack with the
sharpener on it. Yeah.
Ow, ow. Yeah, he'd make the sound of a sharpening. Anyhow, if you want to hear, David Spade's got a really good podcast. You should go listen to it. This one off and go listen to it. But this is just us. It's Mark and Jim. We're very approachable, unless you come up to us in public, and then we'll, I don't know, fucking pepper spray or something. But we've been at this for, I don't know, Mark asked me to listen to episode 1 to bring us back to our roots. And we were talking about winter and snow and all kinds of shit. And it's been like really hot in Minnesota since.
Yeah,
so we've been doing this for a couple of seasons now. So
since March is when we started.
End of March, but you know, hey.
I mean, it was like end of March is March, I think, still.
Okay. So we are just a couple of guys who live in Minnesota. Let's say you're a first-time listener. Who are these guys? Why should I spend time with them? Couple of guys. Mark's 67. I don't know. I don't have to ask him. I am 50, early 50s, 9. And anyway, we used to be next door neighbors, and now we are estranged or something. I don't know. Mark's got his glasses on. This can't be good.
No, I was just looking at the levels. I just want to make sure I have no idea. There's just a whole bunch of buttons and knobs.
You make it look like you know what you're doing, but there I had some serious doubts on that little last escapade there. Anyway, Mark moved from me. He didn't like me that much that he literally sold his house and moved about a mile away. And but yeah, he still demanded that I do a podcast with him.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, I've got a lot of, I like to heal sick kids and make shoes out of recycled aluminum and stuff like that. But
I'm kind of an introvert. I don't like to talk.
I'll give you 48 minutes a week tops. And hey, the podcast was born. So anyway, Mark, what do you got to say for yourself? Why don't you introduce yourself as if someone has never heard us before? What would you?
Wow, I would just say that I'm not very interesting. Hi, I'm Mark. You wouldn't notice me in any other situation, but
except for that shirt.
Wow. It's becoming my favorite podcast shirt, so I'm trying to, keep it going.
That's a pretty narrow demographic. You have a favorite. The fact that you have a favorite shirt is one thing.
Oh, I don't have a favorite shirt.
You have a favorite golf shirt, and then a favorite, like, I don't know, going to the flea market shirt, and then this is your favorite podcasting shirt.
Well, you took an awful picture of me couple weeks ago in the shirt.
I know,
and my phone crapped out, and I lost that photo.
Mark, so I got something you need.
Well, I thought maybe you'll take another picture with
I
it.
deleted that photo, Mark. I'm sorry.
But maybe I'll wear it
and shaved and everything for tonight, just so you can get your picture taken with my cool phone that works?
No, this look comes natural, so
I get it.
I don't
totally
have to do anything.
Mark has kind of done the hard work of making an Ascertainer's Facebook page, and I keep coming up with reasons why I can't work on it. Mark's not on Facebook for a lot of reasons, mostly that he and Mark Zuckerberg used to have a thing. And Mark, the Zuck, as I call him, doesn't want Mark to have any fun. So anyway, Mark has asked me to do that, and I had a little festival responsibility. And as of late, I've been working on a little shindig for my better half, who is a milestone birthday coming up. So sorry, Mark, I haven't done much with the Facebook page. But maybe then there'll be the start of football, then there'll be the Super Bowl, then there'll be...
Well, because the Vikings are going to be in it, so we're
training.
We might have to take that week off.
I just saw Joe Burrow
blew out his calf.
You think it was his calf?
Oh, I didn't see the video or anything.
It was a real Achilles-looking injury.
Oh,
but, hey, I love Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's story is so inspiring. He grew up in a not well off part of Ohio, and he said, I want to come back and I want to lift everybody's spirits by making the Bengals a contender. And he sure did.
He did. And that's tough. Those non-contact injuries that took out Bridgewater. Who was the other one that went down with a non-contact injury, broke his leg, and
I know there's some. Nothing comes to mind.
It was a recent one.
Was it a Viking?
No, it was another. I think it was another quarterback.
Then who cares?
Oh.
Who's the... Oh, Kirk Cousins. Hey, you watch Quarterback?
I haven't watched it yet.
This is a music podcast, so we'll get to music in about with 5 minutes left. So, actually, you haven't watched...
I haven't.
Quarterback? Why did you ask me about what I thought about Patrick Mahomes' wife then? I mean, is that just...
Well, I read reviews on it.
That you heard?
And that was the one bad thing that they came up with.
I watched I think there's 7 or 8 episodes, and I think I'd watched 4. Then I watched the remaining ones, and my opinion of her did not go up as they added content on her. Well, I mean, think about it. As people get knocked out of there's 3 quarterbacks to start with, right? Mariota, Cousins, and Mahomes.
Did they kind of go A team, B team, C team in your eyes?
Kind of seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what they actually started with, right? Maybe they did all the quarterbacks, but those are the stories that they liked. I mean, seriously, how do you accidentally pick the Super Bowl winning quarterback?
Right.
So anyhow, I mean, my money would probably be on Mahomes, but I would have rather seen maybe Burrow or Jalen Hurt. Is it Hurt or Hurts?
Hurts.
Then Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota. I'm sure he's the nicest guy. Probably be a great neighbor and everything else. But I got to be honest, on the personality,
Was it there?
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, honestly, it's that guy is like paint drying. But anyway, you want to talk about music real quick? You want to talk about your... Mark decided... Okay, a couple things. A little housekeeping.
Wow, you're really jumping all over the place there.
I am, because this is important to me.
I can't keep up.
Because I think that we've done 17 of these.
We have.
And some have been outrageously great, and some have been maybe one of our moms will like it or something like that. But Mark asked me, he said, you know what, why don't you go and listen to episode 1, back when we were, just a couple of naive kids looking for something to do on a Friday night. And I did. And I realized a couple of things. And one of them was that...
Go ahead.
Sometimes we edit out the pauses that can be funny. Like that right there, it would have just gone.
I did get overzealous on my editing of the pauses. Because I was reading up on podcasts, and they say dead space is a killer of podcasts, but I went overboard. You're right.
Okay. Oh my God, that was easy. I'm sure you're going to edit this out anyway, but
it's gone.
I'd also like to put this revolver to your temple and put this pen in your hand and have you spell overzealous. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I hope I have enough ammo to put you down.
I could do the over.
Really?
O-X-I-R?
O-B-E-R. Over. All right, cool. So anyway, we, though, taunt ourselves or promote ourselves as a music podcast, which I think I see the You Betcha Guy, and I have a lot of respect for the You Betcha enterprise. I own some You Betcha merchandise, and they do a long podcast. They do it on video. They're sponsored by Ice Mountain Water.
I don't know You Betcha Guys.
It's the wettest water. They go, oh, you should. You probably do without knowing it. But anyhow, where was I going with this? They also do, I said video, they do Bush. He really got famous with Bush. Every little video snippet he did before his podcast, he would open a can of Bush, he would take a sip, and he would always just exclaim like it was the first time he ever had a beer. He goes, "Oh my God, that's cold!" And it's a great brand. If you're out there, I think it's Miles, the You Betcha Guy, the Ascertainers, big fans. Not sure where I was going with this though. So,
the last episode, I'd like to say the 56 in Wabasha, the Bob Dylan song.
Oh, we go already on Errors and Omissions?
I thought we were going to music, but so I was just going to say that I didn't know we were going to do that this time. You already slammed me on the editing, so I thought we were over. I don't want to do anymore.
I thought we were communicating. I thought this was a safe place. I thought the tree.
Is my crying part of the communication?
The tree of trust? No, that's just for my enjoyment. But I thought this is a tree of trust where we could be, safe in our, pink shirts.
But that was from Meet Me in the Morning. Bob Dylan song, Meet Me in the Morning.
Oh, okay.
Meet Me in the Morning. Down on 56 in Wabasha.
For real?
Yeah.
56th and Wabasha?
Yeah.
I don't think a street like that exists.
I don't know if he just picked that.
St. Paul has the most fucked up streets you've ever met. If it was like 200 Water Street, you would think, oh, that's Second and Water. And it's not. It's just weird. You got to go there sometime. It's real. I hate St. Paul. St. Paul, if you're listening, stop listening.
Well, they built it like the old days, where if you're getting invaded, you don't make any straight streets, so it's hard for the armies to come into the middle of the
like that's how they did it in Tangletown too, in Minneapolis. If they got past Fort Snelling, well, they're not going to get to Tangletown. Look at my streets all crooked and shit and bendy. All right. I'm not sure where I was going with the You Betcha Guy thing. I'm sure it'll come to me at some point. And I feel like...
No, it was a great ramble.
I probably had some good errors and omissions, but the problem is that I write them down upstairs, 2 floors up from where we sit, and then I don't bring them downstairs. But I have my list of bands for the radio game. Do you have 3?
I do.
And I think that Mark had made a very salient comment. S-A-L-I-E-N-T.
Is that like a salty?
Salient. Yes, it's what you put in your context. Salient solution. Anyway, that we maybe expand a little bit on the gal darn bands like you did last week with...
wow, way to hold off on the cussing, too.
Pablo, what did I say? Gal dang.
Yeah.
I know.
I think you said gal darn even.
Well, dang darn. Fuck, what do you want me to do? Hey, sorry, Ma. If you're listening, go to bed. So anyway, do you want to do one at a time? Let's do one at a time.
Okay, you go first.
Redbone.
Oh, enlighten me.
Redbone, Come and Get Your Love.
Oh.
I heard several references at a certain funeral service that you and I went to today.
Yeah, I knew that, but I didn't know they got that from that band.
Redbone is a Native American band, and they sang I think their most notorious hit, or their most well-known hit, is "Come and Get Your Love," and it's a rocker, it's a banger, and in honor of your late brother-in-law, who we honored his celebration of life today.
Yeah.
Redbone. Hope I didn't take that off your list, but
you did not. I didn't even know it was an actual band because he did karaoke and guys he did it with were.
It sounds like they were a blast.
Yeah. My first one. I'll go with Humble Pie.
Was Peter Frampton in Humble Pie?
I don't think so.
That was Blind Faith. Okay, tell me about Humble Pie.
30 Days in the Hole.
Okay.
But pretty much their only big hit. I think they had one other one, but it was a minor hit. So I'll use those as my dark horse or whatever we call it.
I think all of mine are pretty dark horsey.
Yeah, mine are too.
But as the guy that said, let's expand on our bands a little bit, you look, I can't wait to hear the other two.
Well, I like to bring up bands that people haven't heard of in a while. So I went Humble Pie.
Humble Pie.
They were like late 60s, early 70s.
I think there's probably some members of Humble Pie that people would recognize. But, I mean, I recognize Humble Pie, the name, but kind of like I recognize, like, the Animals. You know,
right.
That's just a thing you hear on KQ. So that's good. That's what it's all about. I'm going to go with, next I'm going to go with a band that sang a song. I'm going with the Byrds. To every season, turn.
Because of what we heard today.
Because of what we heard. We heard the entire scripture verse of the turn song.
Right.
A time to love, a time to hate, a time to... Yeah. So you're picking up a theme here, aren't you?
I am.
So I'm doing it shamelessly. Whatever. I'm going to continue to honor your brother-in-law through the end of the day. This podcast happens to be in the day, so that's why I'm doing that.
Well, that is very nice. And
what's
that
your number two? Because I feel panderous with this, but that's a good song. And the Byrds were a huge influence on one Thomas Petty. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Oh, huge.
Now there was some of those members went on to other bands.
Well, wasn't David Crosby in that?
I can't remember. I know he was in one. Yeah, I think so. But
I think so too. There were a few. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how like Humble Pie. I guarantee Humble Pie wasn't like just a bunch of guys sitting around the barber shop and they became Humble Pie. I think they were probably in other stuff, or they went on to other stuff, and that's why you know them. But anyway, we'll look up Humble Pie after and talk about it next week.
Anything else?
Well, we just got with the Byrds. We're looking for your number two.
Head East.
That was first concert I ever went and saw.
Really? Did you mention that on a podcast?
On episode 1.
Oh, wow.
Which you made me listen to as homework, you slave driver. That was it was like, what's your first concert? And I remember your first concert, but apparently you don't remember mine.
I don't. Well, I don't remember much. That was back in March.
Want me to tell you your first concert?
Yeah.
Black and Blue tour.
It was.
Wow.
Now you're making me feel bad on my picks. This is a music podcast, not make Mark feel bad.
Oh, I think if we can accomplish both of those, everyone will be happier.
Okay.
All 4 of our listeners.
Well, I guess we can't talk about Head East anymore.
Well, what is it about Head East that you like? Because in week 1, you didn't know who the fuck they were.
Oh, I always knew who Head East was. But
okay.
Actually, growing up, I didn't. The name of the song I thought was Going Down for the Last Time.
I think it's called There's Never Been Any Reason.
It is.
Yes.
But
yes, Queen.
Do your third.
I'm going to bail you out. I'm going Blackfoot just because of the...
Didn't we talk about that when your brother was on?
Yeah, we did, but...
Okay.
That was because that was what he played on his off-name Hi-Fi Kenny car stereo. And I'm bringing it up because they were they also had Native American influences. And
there you go.
Brother-in-law had Native American influences.
Well, I see where you went with that.
See, the whole thing.
Just all came together.
I'm trying to...
wrapped up.
Just
it was just...
wrapped up. It was like a... What does David Cross say about in the redneck fight? He goes, if you ever get a chance to hear a redneck fight, you know when it's starting, you'll hear a certain sound of a bar stool sliding out. And then it's like, oh, yeah, you don't want to mess with me, man. Oh, no. And then one of the things he says, I'm like a earthquake in a little box, nestled in a little box of tsunamis. Anyway, it's fucking hilarious. Anyway, sorry about the Fs and that stuff, but what's your third pick there, Marco Polo?
Mine is not really, probably wouldn't be played that much or ever on KQ, but Leo Sayer. He kind of did the 80s power ballads to me.
Okay.
And that's...
I agree. I'm going to give you another one because I think back then, hey, maybe it'll show up. I mean...
1978, he had, what, 3 in the top 100 at that time.
Do you remember? I think this goes back to like one of our early ones. Do you remember? So the first time you heard Leo Sayer, you never knew what he looked like.
Yes.
And then when you saw him on like, whatever, Midnight Special or Don Kirshner's Rock Concert. But either way, he was a little easier to take than Neil Sedaka was. Neil Sedaka, I think, had equally like powerful songs, but oh my shit. Neil.
I always thought Leo kind of looked like Art Garfunkel's younger brother.
I thought he looked like that exercise, Richard Simmons.
Yeah? Well, I'm thinking about the hair.
That's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And the leg warmers. All right, here we go. We got 3. Of which, Mark has 1.5 or 2.5.
Well, I could do a different one.
Well, go ahead.
No, but are you going to count Leo? Do you think he would be played?
I'm gonna go ahead and I'll let you include another band if you so choose.
U2. Has that been picked?
It's a commercial.
I'm going for something that might win.
We have to sit down one day and do all of the... If we're going to do all of the bands that have already, like, exclude everything that's been picked...
That's just me. I tried not to pick...
Because we're going to be down to, like, Huey Lewis in the News...
We picked that
Donnie
before.
Iris, and I know these are all that we picked, but we're going to be down to, like, Humble Pie, like your shitty pick.
Wow. They live in Lakeville. All the members of Humble Pie. And they're constant listeners of the Ascertainers.
Oh, really?
They were.
Well, what's up? Mark hates you. The only reason Mark brought you guys up is he knew I would destroy you. Whatever.
Jim's over here. He's picking up one headset, putting it down.
I know.
Picking up another.
It turns out the 150-year-old stereo console thing only has one working channel on the speakers. So if I put it on the wrong ear, hold on. Both of my ears work, but only one. QC Kinetics. Don't go there.
Oh, I thought that was a band.
It should be. I remember one time I was watching football and I was like doing something else, and they described an athlete's injury as a quadriceps contusion, and I thought that was a guy's name. Is that
wow,
bad?
that's a.
I'm like, well, that's
strange
unique.
name.
That sure is. But you ever see, Key and PLR?
Yeah.
They'll do a lot of stuff with the they'll actually
when the players
dress
come
up
out
like football players,
yeah,
or like
introduce themselves,
Factorious, whatever, and then they'll make up some college that he went to and stuff. So anyway, I thought Quadriceps Contusion was a guy. My apologies to both the medical community and anybody potentially named Quadriceps Contusion.
Right, he's sitting in his house going, why are they picking on me?
And he's like, shit, man, I can listen to other podcasts. They don't bring me up by name. But they maybe Quadriceps, if you're out there listening to, we call you Quadriceps, or do we call you...
He goes by Quad.
Quad or Sepser. Anyway, shoot us an email at the ascertainers@gmail.com. And we'll enter you in the sweepstakes. I think we need to have a 20th episode, which we're coming up on. This is episode 18, I'll have you know. I'd like to think that we should have some kind of a lame-ass audience participation thing.
Oh.
And I will try to get the Facebook page up here soonish.
I thought we were going to drop balloons from the ceiling here.
Well, they ain't going to fall far.
Wow. It's only us.
Still commercials, yeah.
It was just going to be one balloon.
You said balloons.
Well,
Are you going to put one inside the other and drop it?
There you go.
Technically. All right, you got me.
Well, if I make the animal, does that count if you twist it? You make the dog or horse, that would be 5 balloons.
I don't want to know what kind of animal you're doing with your hands right now, but I'm uncomfortable, and I'd like to call an adult. All right, well, I'm trying to get a band on. It's just been Commercial City, KQ. I guess you've sold out. Oh, speaking of selling out, this is the first. Did I go? No, I think I went to Newt's this week. I did. I did, and I broke. I found out there's another way to get a Ascertainer's beer.
How's that?
We'll know if Corey's listening now. I asked Sarah. She goes, "You want another beer?" And I said, "Well, we got to get you in on the Ascertainer's deal." And she goes, "Oh, I know about the deal."
Oh.
Yeah. So, I hope I might have just blew it all up. But I had the special, which is the chicken bacon ranch sandwich, and it's just so good. And then I have, I think it's from Firestone or Freestone Brewing, the Mind Haze IPA. It's quite good.
Did you have that before somewhere?
The Mind Haze?
Yeah, because either that or somebody I was with had one.
Well,
somewhere else.
That's what I usually drink Coors Lights if we're getting a pitcher there with you, or the Mind Haze. Yeah, they also have Pseudo Sue, which is a better beer, I think. But it's heavier, and me and the heavy beers don't quite get along. But Pseudo Sue is like you can't see. It's a zero visibility. Let's say that. And it's from what's it called?
Genesis.
No, it's in Decorah, Iowa. I forget the name of the brewery. Toppling Goliath
Phil
Brewery.
Collins.
In what?
Susu Studio.
No one's ever picked Genesis and Phil Collins, and I feel like it's going to be on the radio, and especially this week. Oh, we don't get political, but we can be newsy. Barack Obama's personal chef, dies in a questionable paddleboarding incident. That sounds like a total, I can see it coming in the air tonight or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? That was supposed to be about seeing a guy drowning and stuff. So
I did not hear that.
So, you know what it is? It's Ram Jam. How the fuck are they playing Ram Jam on the goddamn radio in 2023?
You hate that song.
I hate that song because maybe I got to research what the hell it's about, but it's Black Betty, Ram-a-Lamb, Old Black Betty. Does it sound a little racially fucking tinged? Sorry, I'm getting a little upset here, but it's they play it at every sporting event.
I think
it's like you could have picked any other song, and you pick Old Black Betty, Ram-a-Lamb, oh Black Betty. She kind of. Anyway.
Oh, I hope that song's on every week now. That was just wonderful to see how angry you got.
I get angry. I get, I wear my heart on my sleeve there. That's why, that explains all the blood. But anyway, yeah, so I'm not a big fan of that. I did come up with what's your Arizona missions for last week? Do you have any?
That was all I could think of. I've actually been out of touch for the week. We took my boys up to North.
Oh, you went to the thing?
Yeah.
Sugarloaf or whatever?
Yeah.
Ooh, Sugarloaf.
It's not Sugarloaf, but...
What song did Sugarloaf sing?
Green-Eyed Lady...
That's it.
Green-Eyed Lady, Lonesome Lady.
Yeah.
It's a great bass line in that.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes, I agree. That's a good... Audie, Chris, my old lady, sent me a text, and literally because we heard this song like 10 days ago in the car, but she goes, it was a one-hit wonder, Jigsaw. Remember the band Jigsaw?
I don't.
It fit so perfectly into that kind of late 70s. The song is Sky High.
Oh, I know that. Yeah. I didn't know who did
low, low, right. Anyway, it was great. And it's Stop, You've Blown It All Sky High. Our love is something fucking whatever. I'm going to drop a couple more F-bombs, so put the kids to bed and come on back. So I had a little cheat sheet that sometimes we kind of run dry on topic. That's it doesn't come organically, and one of them was one-hit wonders. So did you hear any one-hit wonders this week that were...
Again, I didn't listen to any.
You were a little out of pocket? Okay.
Yeah, we were...
So what'd you do up there? Did you catch a fish? Did you light a firework?
Did you... some bass and We played golf. Luckily, it was 95 degrees.
Oh, it was a little steamy. Yeah.
And no wind.
So who'd you play golf with? Both or just one kid?
Both my kids were up there, and they're two friends.
Okay.
So, four younger guys.
Do I know the one? Or no?
Yes.
Yeah. What's the name?
Yes.
Audie J.
Yes.
Okay. Could come on the podcast. I mean, your other kid could come on the podcast too.
I will take care of it.
Anyway, yeah, I want to golf with those two again, actually, because I'm feeling a little.
I figured out that I played the first 9. I was just on fire. We made the turn, and I was just dying.
Well, it's pretty hot out. I mean, that's.
But I'm just not used to playing. 9 is so much sweeter to play. Plus, you're not out there for 5 hours. So, I don't know.
You can convince your wife that you're playing 18, and then that allows you to play 9 and then go drink for a couple hours?
Right. You can hit the 19th hole and
That's
early.
so bad. I don't have a marriage or drinking problem, but that really made it sound like I did. So, anyway, maybe some guys will learn from that and be better at concealing their, whatever they have to do.
But you were going to come up with some...
Grab bag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Explain it.
Well, it just, I mean, sometimes we kind of, we try to not have anything that's like pre-scripted. So, because I think I agree with that generally. But then sometimes it's like, we struggle a little bit. So I think there should be times at every, because this is your time, the listener. We could do this, for, without even recording it. So it's not about us, it's about you. We want to have stuff that might be interesting to you. And odds are it won't be, but we're going to try. But so when we are just kind of like just vomiting, verbally, I thought, okay, well, let's have like I thought to have a physical grab bag where I could just write down ideas and then have a bag in the middle of the table. And then one of us would reach in, grab one of them, and that would be potluck. And we would talk about, boom, whatever.
Put other things in the bag, too. Creepy things. So
yeah, like, oh, yeah, spaghetti. And if you're like, oh, that's guts. Or, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So the one thing was one-hit wonders, and you don't have any for today, so that's a big help.
But one thing I did want to bring up, sorry to interrupt, but we were talking about the stage left, and I said, who was that cartoon character?
Yes.
That
Snagglepuss.
Snagglepuss. Didn't he have a son?
I think he had an assistant or something. I don't know if it was his son, but yeah, I'm telling you, that's when you can learn so much about our society, the way that cartoons became politically correct. And I think that,
I never even thought of that now.
I don't think that political correctness has helped our society as much as those people that thought they were helping it. I mean,
how to say this without...
Well, no, that's exactly it. And it used to be able to say what you wanted to say, and you knew that it was going to be... I mean, everybody used to be fair game.
Right.
I mean, okay, I should say it like this. There was a period where you would say, like... I remember, like, when I was a kid, apparently... I feel like we talked about this before.
We have.
Okay. Like, you would tell a Polak joke. And that would be a joke against somebody who was from Poland, which I probably know some Polish people, and they're not like. But the knock is that they were dumb or whatever. Maybe it's because they it was a new language or this or that or whatever the hell. And anyway, so that's a crappy example.
Well, I think we brought this up before, maybe not. I don't know if this is going to be sensitive, but I grew up in a Polish neighborhood. Northeast was mostly Polish.
And you weren't Polish?
No.
So were you the butt of the joke there then?
Always. I'm the butt of the joke here.
Did you wear that shirt? It looks like it might have fit back then.
I wasn't bold enough to do this, but I was explaining that to my kids. They said, well, one of his, my youngest son's friend moved out to Golden Valley. And I said, oh, that was a big Jewish community growing up.
St. Louis Park, Golden Valley, West Metro was, yeah.
And I didn't think anything wrong with that, but they kind of looked at me. Oh, you can't say things like that. What? It's the truth.
Well, I know, and that's the thing. And I'm, you know me. I try to kind of keep things in the middle of the fairway. Yeah, I don't get what that means.
Oh, you told me to give you a signal at timing wise.
Seriously, we're at 30-some minutes right now.
So I flipped him off. He
oh my
said,
God, he didn't just flip me off. He gave me the.
But you up in the kitchen before we came down, you said, "Give me that signal." So I did.
Scare the shit out of me. He's like, ah! He's really aggressively flipping me off. Anyway, that's fun. I just realized something.
What's that? You left the bathtub running.
No, worse. Gah! It's okay. Chris and I went up to, on the way back, I stopped at Pizza Luce, and I picked up I was just going to pick up a pizza to go, and then she sent me a text saying, "Oh, I'm just leaving downtown." She had to go meet with her boss today, and I'm like, "Hey, whatever." Anyway, I have a half of elote pizza.
In the car?
In the back of my car. Fuck! Because that would have been so good as a little midnight snack, but now I think it'd be more
I think it'll be all right.
I think it'd be I could lose 50 or 60 pounds in a day. Maybe I'll just eat that.
Put some, mayonnaise that's been sitting out with it and right on top, and you'll be fine.
You're starting to make it sound bad. Okay, well, shit. All right, so...
I didn't mean to interrupt, but we were talking about something.
All right, so what? I'm going to tell you the grab bag. Also, did we get a song?
Yeah, we didn't win. It was Ram Jam.
Oh yeah.
He's trying to listen again, like it's going to help. I hope it's Ram Jam again, so he starts going off that. But I brought a new headset.
Who sings this song?
I can't hear your
This is bad. I know the song. It's a great song. It's either the Wilburys or George Harrison.
So, and our listeners can't hear what you're listening to.
Here, let's see. What if I did this? Oh, you can't do that. Did you hear it?
No, we did. I did, but I.
Oh, it's the Dead. It's Touch of Grey.
Oh.
It's Traveling Wilburys. I have to take this contact out.
Yeah, right now he's having problems with
literally.
eyes.
Yeah, I'm a blind man. It's blind man's bluff.
And his contacts
that's what I without that I can't see, Mark. Can you even see that little
it's little
small chunk of plastic that I get to put on my eyes to see?
It's hard plastic.
Touch of Grey is such an old song. I mean, literally, it's 30 years old, isn't it?
Yeah, the 90s when they were doing their pop.
God. We're so fucking old. Okay. So anyway, you let me know if we need any other topics. I had a couple. I thought they were good ones. Let me maybe tease these out a little bit if I can see. Okay.
Can you actually read it with the...
Oh, yeah. It has to be this close to my face. Let's see.
We could talk.
There's a couple that I think that I should save. But how about this? How about...
Something quick.
Best debut album that isn't Van Halen 1. Can you think of any?
Wow.
That's a good one. Should we? Well, okay, we'll marinate on that. And then the other one is...
That would be a good research one.
You know what? This will be good because then we will leave the listeners to think about that as well. And then we won't talk about it in the next episode just to make them furious.
Because
I think that would be great.
If I brought some up, you could say,
My concern is this, is that I would say one, I think Kansas Left Overture might be the best first album of any band, but then I'll learn, oh, no, that's their third album or something.
Right, I was just going to say that, like Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet.
This would be an example of where a little research is required.
Yeah, you're right.
And then since we're going to do that, we'll do this. Bands that switched lead singers and were still good.
Van Halen's another one.
And I'll allow it, but...
Gary Cherone.
Gary Cherone? Kiss? No, who is he?
He was the guy from... It was the two guys sitting on doing acoustic guitar. I can't remember the band.
Extreme?
He came from. Extreme, yeah.
You know who the guitarist was?
No. He's a great guitarist.
Nuno Betancourt.
He's a great guitarist.
I know.
And Sharon could have been a good singer, but he didn't fit with that.
So bands that switched singers and got better is the category. But so yeah, there's a lot to work with there. Like Deep Purple switched singers, I think, a few times.
Yeah.
And they were good. Rainbow.
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath. Yeah. Got better. Yeah, well, it's good. So we have something to a little homework. I'm going to throw out another one that we won't use.
But we should pick just one of those an episode.
Right. Well, okay. Well, so I'm going to just open up the grab bag and spill it out all over.
So are we...
Spill that bag.
So are we doing a post-production meeting on air right now?
No, we're giving the listeners what they can look forward to. Because if we wanted them to come back based on what we just gave them, oh, we're fucked. They ain't coming back. They're going to listen to the good podcasts.
Yeah.
So, okay.
But I don't want them to know because they're going to do better research and they're going to be making fun of us.
Well, I think that they can email us at theascertainers@gmail.com.
And say, you idiots, this is what...
Actually, our listenership seems to be pretty steady, and I would assume that means that there are a handful or two of people that listen to us regularly, and we say thank you. Mark doesn't. I do. I want to be your favorite. Mark hates fame.
Wow.
Anyway, so here are the other two, and they're kind of, it's like a best and a worst. So it is, what is the easiest Olympic sport to get a gold medal in? Okay.
Wow, okay.
We're going to say individual, because the easy sport would be like, fucking water polo, but you didn't play, but you were the alternate.
Oh my!
We're not counting that, because water polo would be the hardest. Yes, but so the easiest individual sport to win a gold medal, and then the hardest individual sport to win a gold medal in. So that's...
God, we're going to piss a lot of Olympians off there.
We can always talk about one-hit wonders, and then we have bands that switched singers and got better, and best debut album that isn't VH1. Because honestly, do you think Van Halen 1 is a good debut album?
Yes, it's awesome.
I can't think of a better one. But then again, there's people who say Led Zeppelin 1. Is that what they called it? Is that like World War One? They didn't call it World War One.
Right. But the first Led Zeppelin, I didn't hear the whole album because I didn't own
the whole what?
Album.
You call it a fucking album.
I know it. I don't have a problem with that.
All right. Okay, so...
I only heard the songs off the radio. So I did...
What was Zeppelin's first hit? The shit I heard was on 4. So there's like... Well, I guess Livin' Lovin'... what's that called? Livin' Lovin', She's Just a Woman? Is that...
I think it's...
That was probably the first Zeppelin song I ever heard.
Okay. I couldn't tell you the first one.
Well, look it up.
The only thing... that would be memory. I can't look up what I remembered back then. Can I?
You ever heard of the internet?
But how would the internet know what I was thinking growing up and what I heard first? Do they know?
Oh, trust me.
Wow.
Trust me.
Now I'm scared.
Just look up National Geographic episode or magazine 212. And then look at all the pages I didn't look at. And then it'll tell you exactly
what... You just went to
the...
I won't go into that.
I thought about that earlier today.
Did you?
Yep.
The poor man's Playboy.
That's why I was late. That's why I was late to the funeral. Anyway, oh wow. No, I think that National Geographic was, it was interesting. You got to catch a boob, but it was like,
it wasn't.
There wasn't a lot of like support garments in that part of the world,
right.
I guess.
And posing and.
I don't think the word perky ever showed up there. Ooh, I think that elote pizza is starting to rumble. What do you think?
I think we should wrap this one up.
I like your style.
Wow, thank you.
Well, Mark, thanks for being my podcast partner. I love it. And thanks for coming up with this idea. You're the best. You're a visionary.
Wow, that's sweet. I'm glad you were my third choice.
I know.
So we'll see you next time. And
We'll see you.
And like Jim said, contact us on theascertainers@gmail.com.
And look for our Facebook page soon, but not right away, because by the time this one comes out, it might be available. But we're gonna do some cool contests. We're gonna have like a little dance off, pants off, some kind of a situation, and
look for it in January of 2025.
Yes, that's when. Bye.
All right, bye.